no matter what holiday you celebrate in the month of December, Boxing Day, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas, Black Friday is the peak day for many people to do most of their Christmas or holiday season shopping. It used to be fun. There used to be a bunch of fights, people getting stabbed and stuff like that. But the rise of online shopping has definitely sort of diminished that a little bit. But some people still crave the hustle and bustle and get out there in the streets to save some money on some video games or video game consoles or video game accessories. Now, for me, I don't deal with the Black Friday stuff. This was my Black Friday purchase. A camouflage Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt, because I feel like every 40-year-old man needs a camouflage Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt in their wardrobe. Now, when it comes to Black Friday, many people look towards video game system sales to see what won the Black Friday war, and we actually have a bit of a topic to talk about with this, as we do have data from both the UK and the United States. Obviously, two of the main regions that will participate in Black Friday madness. We have some sales splits for what system did what, and I think it's pretty interesting. I think it's worth talking about, so we're going to talk about it today on the channel. If you enjoy this video and my camouflage Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt, hit the like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel. But without any further ado, let's get into the splits here, because realistically speaking, most people thought, okay, there are three consoles here. You have PlayStation, you have Nintendo, and you have Xbox. And each one of these consoles is in a very interesting position when it comes to how they're viewed in the marketplace. When it comes to Nintendo, the Nintendo Switch 2 is, of course, the latest system that is out on the marketplace. It just came out in June, so don't be expecting any sort of major sales or anything like that on the hardware side of things, and on first-party software as well, because Nintendo will just tell you to go to hell. Xbox has been raising the price of the system multiple times in 2025, and it was going to be interesting to see how people reacted to that. And really, the most kind of consumer-friendly place was PlayStation, because the PlayStation 5 obviously has been out for as long as the Xbox Series X, but PlayStation views their hardware much differently than how Xbox views their hardware. Remember, everything is an Xbox. So I guess technically the split across the board was really 100% for Xbox. And I am sure Xbox has an employee that will try to spin it like that. And they'll be like in a board meeting and be like, well, I mean, technically, we sold 100% of the market because everything is an Xbox, and people will cheer for that. So let's talk about the split in the UK first. My beans and toast people, pip pip, cheerio, top of the morning to you. Please, sir, may I have some more? Those are pretty much all that's pretty much all I know about the UK. I'm sorry. In the UK, the Xbox had 10% of the market split. The Nintendo Switch 2 had 23% of the market split. And the PlayStation 5 was in first place with a commanding 62% of the market split. Now, obviously, the UK isn't the biggest region in the world. When you look at what the two biggest regions are, usually it's either Japan or the UK, and then in first place, it's always going to be the United States. But it is interesting to see how things were going in the UK. And the reason for this, I mean, more than likely was the fact that PlayStation had system deals. Like, there was a cheaper SKU. They reverted their prices to pre-tariff prices, basically what they were when they first came out, which, I mean, they kind of should have done anyway since the tariff stuff has calmed down. But now they have another thing with the memory stuff that's going on, so they can just rely on that, and people will just eat it up. Yes, I know tariffs did play a role, but to think it was the only role that was played and there was no greed involved whatsoever, I mean, I got a bridge to sell you in Turkey. I don't know what that means, but it sounds good to me. But 62% of the marketplace, obviously, PlayStation just dominated in the UK. Now, like I said, it's a smaller sample size, and the US was going to be what a lot of people were focused on. So how did the US fare? In third place was not even Xbox. It was the NEX Playground, or NEX Playground, at 14% of the market split. Now, you might be saying to yourself, what is the NEX Playground? I'm actually familiar with this because a girl I was talking to at one point in time was buying one of these for her kid. And like, she was asking me about it, and I'm like, the hell are you talking about? What is that? So I looked it up, and I was like, oh, okay. This was actually like earlier this year, maybe even last year. It's been on the market since like 2023, I believe, or maybe even 2022. But this is essentially a Kinect. Remember the Xbox Kinect? But it's like a standalone thing that plays Android games, and you have to like sign up for a subscription service to get the games. I'm not kidding. Like, that's literally the business model. But they managed to get 14% of the marketplace. They managed to outsell the Xbox in the United States. And the Xbox's home turf is the United States. But yeah, everything's working out great for Xbox. Keep eating what Satya Nadella and Sarah Bond and Stolen Valor Major Nelson talk to you about. Everything's great. Phil's running a business over there. Man, if my business was video games and I got beat by some Android box that's like $300, that's just a Kinect, I might be looking for another job. Now, in second place was the Nintendo Switch 2 at 24%. And in first place, the PlayStation 5 at 47%. So obviously not as big of a market split for the PlayStation 5 in the US comparative to in the UK. However, nearly 50% of all systems sold were PlayStation 5s in the United States. Over 60% of systems sold in the UK were also PlayStation 5s as well. So the PlayStation 5 is by far the clear winner of this. And of course, you know, there's lots of discussions. Panic going on. People freaking, Nintendo diehards and Nintendo drones freaking out. The Switch 2 it's failing. The Switch 2 haters have, because everything's a freaking grift today, dude. Like, everything is just pandering and leaning into a base. Oh, the Switch 2 sucks. Oh, the Switch 2 is great. And if you're in the middle ground and you look at things objectively, people are just like, oh, what's this guy's stance on it? Look, here's the fact of the matter. What did I say at the start of this video? The PlayStation brand, the PlayStation 5, had deals and sales going on. You could get a PlayStation 5 with a Fortnite bundle. I think it has extra crap in it because obviously Fortnite, you know, it's a free game to begin with. But it was like a Fortnite bundle, and it was $400. That is the cheapest, newer-ish console that was on the market. The Switch 2 is $450 without Mario Kart World, $500 with Mario Kart World, but maybe $450 with Mario Kart World if you happen to pick it up at Walmart. Even though that's not a Nintendo decision, go watch the video from yesterday, and God only knows what Xbox prices are right now. I have lost track of what they're charging for systems, so it does make sense. Nintendo was never, I think, going to be the best-selling Black Friday system, especially launching in June. So a lot of people have picked up this system already. The stock of the system is in a situation where, you know, stock has been sort of restricted. It's been pretty easy to get one as well. And that's another Black Friday kind of thing, is stores flood with, you know, systems and system sales and stuff like that in order to get people in the door. And they have a larger stock, a plentiful stock of maybe things that were a bit harder to come across. I don't think it's really a big deal for Nintendo. I think some people will write it as a big deal for Nintendo because, oh, they're the newest system out. They should have done this and that. But I think, you know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And as long as the system is the fastest selling system of all time. Like, I doubt Nintendo's worried about a Black Friday split for one specific weekend. Because that's all we're taking into account here, is one specific weekend. Now, if next year they're not doing too good, then that's a conversation. If their physical report says something else, then it's a conversation to have, and we will have that conversation. PlayStation keeps trucking along. You have that brand recognition. You had systems on sale for Black Friday. You did a good job with your Black Friday marketing as well. And then Xbox, I don't know what the hell you're doing. I don't. And the funny thing is, nobody knows what you're doing. Nobody knows. Jesus Christ, man. At what point in time does somebody at Xbox just put their foot down and be like, hey, what are we doing here? We are very all over the place. We need to focus. We need to have a clear and concise direction of what we are doing, what we are as a company, and if you want to do the streaming shit, that's what you want your main business to be, get rid of the consoles. Because at this point in time, it's embarrassing. And it doesn't make sense from a business standpoint. But then you got the Next Playground. And the Next that's the new thing. Get your kids a Next Playground and they can play crappy Android games. Like, I don't know, man. That's one of those things where it was probably on like Good Morning America or something. So like middle-aged white people saw it and they're like, oh, this will be good for Connor and I can't really think. I was trying to think of a Larissa. Is that a white girl name? I think that's a white girl name. Anyways, I probably offended enough people in this video, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. But yes, the PlayStation 5 dominated during Black Friday, but it's just one weekend, and really it doesn't matter all that much. I just thought it was interesting. Let me know what you think of everything in the comments section down below. Is Nintendo Switch 2 dead? Are they screwed? Is Xbox playing 5D chess? Do you have a PlayStation 5? Are you picking up a Next Playground? I need to know these things. And as always, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel and you appreciate the camouflage Stone Cold Steve Austin Black Friday t-shirt that I purchased, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and as always, oh, by the way, if you need a Christmas gift, you can get a cameo of me. I'll insult your family, I'll insult your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your wife, your husband, your mistress. I'll be nice to them. I don't care. Just get the cameo. I have 5-star rating on there, pal. People love me. I've been doing birthday messages. This one dude, his friends keep getting birthday messages. I've literally the past like 4 or 5 days, every day I've done a birthday message for this guy. Repeat customers, baby. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.